What is going on? We do transformations coaches. In this video, we're going to be talking about the 5-step process to overcoming the money objection. Again, a quick review. Step number 1 is to isolate their objection. Step number 2 is feel, felt, found. Step number 3 is to give them a case study. Step number 4 is to ask for the enrollment. And step number 5 is to ask for the deposit. So let's talk about the money objection. Somebody says, I don't have the money to invest in your program. Think about it like this. Why would they show up to a call with $0? It doesn't really make sense. Nobody would show up to a call with $0. They've got to know on some level it's going to be an investment. Now, everybody has the money to invest in a program. Otherwise, they wouldn't show up to the phone call. If they didn't have the money, why would they show up? And why would they reach out for help? Write this down. Everyone that gets on the call with me has the money. It's my job to get them to invest in their goals. Write that down. Everyone that gets on the call with me has the money. It's my job to get them to invest it in their goals. And they have some sort of money, and they're either investing it in beer or cigarettes or fast food or Starbucks every single day. We have the money to invest. It's our job as trainers and coaches to figure out where they're spending their money that might be hurting their goals. Now, as you're going throughout the call and you're doing the nutrition assessment, you really want to make sure that you're writing down if they're spending money on fast food, on alcohol, cigarettes, etc. Right? You need to figure this out. Ask them if they eat out. If they do eat out, ask them how many times they eat out. Okay, so you mentioned you eat out a couple times a week. So what do you usually do when you go out? Okay, Starbucks a couple times a day, coffee and a donut. Write that down. That's $15 per day they're spending on Starbucks. If they do that 5 times per week, that's $75 a week, which is like $300 for the month. Now, you can use that as ammo on your sales calls if they say they don't have the money to invest. So a lot of people's nutrition habits, when they're actually doing it, like when they have the money objection, we can reference back to the money that they're spending on like fast food, alcohol, cigarettes, Starbucks, etc. Now, let's say they come up with a money objection. You're like, you know what, Brian, this is a super good opportunity and I'd love to move forward. I just don't think I have the money to invest. Step number 1 is isolate their objection. So here's exactly what that looks like. Okay, so I can totally appreciate that. Now, Jackie, if you had all the money in the world, is this a program that you'd want to move forward with? So this first thing is you basically want to get their commitment that they want to move forward. If you had all the money in the world, is this a program that you'd want to move forward with? They're going to say yes, right? The reason you want to ask this is you want to figure out, like, is it just money or is there something else that's holding them back? They're like, yeah, this program actually sounds amazing. I just feel like it's not in my budget right now. So the next question you're going to ask is, okay, so is it that you don't have a card you can use? Is it that you don't have savings, or is it something else? All right, now that's the next step. So Jackie, I can totally appreciate that. If you had all the money in the world, is this a program you'd want to move forward with? Obviously, yes. Okay, cool. So is that you don't have a card you can put it on? Is it savings, or is it something else? And they'll be like, yeah, I do have a card I can put it on, but I just don't know if it's going to be in the budget right now. It's really, really tight. So now you're going to use feel, felt, found. Jackie, I can totally appreciate how you feel. In fact, a lot of my best clients felt the same way in the past. They felt like they didn't have the extra money to invest in themselves. But what we found is it's this fear of investing themselves that actually kept them locked in the first place, because they were looking for short-term fixes like diet pills and weight loss pills and all these short-term fixes online, which is why they weren't achieving any real results. And it was the people that invested in a real solution, which is a custom program, so that they got the actual transformation with a great community of coaches like at We Do Transformations. So let me ask you, if you were able to invest in me and it came with a guaranteed result and you had the body that you wanted, would it be worth investing in? Right? And they're gonna be like, well, yeah, it would be worth investing in. Honestly, Jackie, you remind me of my client, John. Just like you, he believed he didn't have the money to invest, but he made the commitment, he made the decision, and he decided, you know what? No more short-term fixes. I'm going to commit to this. John's been working with me for 16 weeks now. He's done a bunch of challenges, and he's able to lose 15 pounds. Is that something that you'd want? Like, do you want that weight loss? Okay, great. So it sounds to me like you're ready to get started. Did you want to do the paid in full option, or would you rather do the monthly? So remember, when people say they don't have the money, it's that they have the money, otherwise they wouldn't have shown up at the phone call with you. They have the money to invest, otherwise they wouldn't show up to the phone call with you. They know on some level it's going to be an investment. Our job as trainers is to show them where they're spending their money that's costing them on their fitness goals. So guys, when I was a personal trainer, I would literally have my trusty little notepad. When they're writing and they tell me how much they're spending on their nutrition, I'd be like, okay, so you eat out 3 times a week. All right, so every time they eat out, it's about $20. So 3 times 20 is $60 a week. So I'm writing this down and I'm keeping this as a note for myself. And then when they're like, I don't have the money to invest, I'm like, you know what? I totally appreciate how you feel. In fact, a lot of my best clients felt the same way when they enrolled with me. But what we found is by cutting it back to $60 a week that they're spending on Starbucks, which is like $250 a month, that they were able to invest in the program. Does that make sense? So let me ask, if we started cutting back those Starbucks investments and we actually invested in weight loss and transforming your body, do you think that that would help with your finances a little bit? And, honestly, you remind me of my client, John. Like, John was just like you. He felt like he didn't have the money to invest in the program, but he actually made the commitment. He stopped the short-term fixes, and we invested into something that was long-term and sustainable. John was able to lose 10 pounds in 21 days in one of our challenges, and he's in the best shape of his life. If I was able to help you get the body that you wanted, would it be worth investing in? Right? So let's run through the framework. Okay, so step number one is to isolate their objection. Jackie, if you had all the money in the world, is this a program that you'd want to move forward with? Okay, great. So is it that you don't have a card you can put it on? Is it savings or is it something else? Now we're going to use feel, felt, found. I totally get it. Sometimes money can be really tight, and I can appreciate how you feel. In fact, a lot of my best clients felt the exact same way before they enrolled. But what we found is by saving money on little things like Starbucks and Tim Hortons and cutting out all the short-term fixes, once they actually invested themselves, they found a long-term solution, they were able to sustain it. So let me ask you, if I was able to help you get the body that you wanted in the next 21 days, is that something that you would be worth investing in? It would? Great, because you remind me of one of my clients, Sarah. She was actually super nervous about investing in herself, but she's been with me for 21 days. She's down 10 pounds and she's literally in the best shape of her life. If we were able to get you results like that, is that something that you'd want to move forward with? And once I say yes, you'd be like, okay, great. So it sounds like you're ready to get started. So would you rather do $120 a month or the $120 option with a little bit of supplements? Or do you want like the full weight loss stack of supplements for $349? Be like, okay, let's do the $120 plan. Or they'll be like, you know what, Brian, this really does sound great, but I'm going to have to check with my budget. And when they say check with your budget, is that an answer we're willing to accept? No, we accept yes, no, or deposit. Those are the three answers. So I'll have to check with my budget is not an answer. So here's how we ask for the deposit. Okay, I'll tell you what. So check your budget. I totally respect that. Sometimes we need to think these things over. I've only got a couple spots left in the transformation program. So what we'll do is this. I'll save your spot in the program. What I'll do is I'll get you to put down a $50 deposit as a representation of your commitment to the program. Then you can go check your budget. And if you're ready to get started and transform your life forever, tomorrow we'll move forward and we'll take to the next level. If not, I'll just send your money back. No questions asked. Is that cool? Or you can be like, okay, I'll tell you what. I've got a couple spots left in the program. How about we do this? I'll save your spot in the program. What we'll do is we'll put down a $50 deposit as a representation of your commitment to the program. That way you can go take a look at some of your budget tonight, see if it all works. And then tomorrow, if you're ready to move forward and transform your body, we can do that. If not, I'll just send you money back. No questions asked. Is that cool? So basically, like the deposit is less about the money that they send you, and it's more about them paying you because it's a proven fact. Write this down. When somebody sends you $1, they're 7 times more likely to send you the second dollar. So if you can get that commitment, you can get that deposit on the phone, the chances of them actually committing to the program are 7 times higher. All right. So get the deposit. This is how you get the deposit. Hopefully this training was valuable. This is how you overcome the money objection.